That's a very interesting pile of mollusks. Something's hanging out there eating. Happy New Year, camera people, creatives, and patrons of the arts. I'm Chris. This is Photography, and that is the nearly frozen St. Lawrence River. The ice is moving very slowly. Even here in this almost liquid state, that phase that Norwegians and Swedish call vintervatten. Not quite ice, not quite water. When I arrived about an hour ago, that strange object in the sky, I think it's called a sun, it was beating down on this ice and the mist was rising in clouds. Almost windless day, but negative 25. Surprisingly warm for a Canadian. Beautiful. I was out here to capture some images of some of these channel markers in the ice being battered. This one out here was moving quite wickedly there a few minutes ago. The meteorologists at Environment Canada say we've got some sun today, so I'm out, but there is a big gray woolen blanket of cloud coming this way. My ultimate goal was to take St. Nick, my symbolic feature for this week, probably the last 2 weeks actually, and take him out to a feature where I think, if my pre-visualization concept and machinations and abilities are working correctly, I think that's the place for St. Nick. If you recall last time, I showed you some test images on the river, and although they were picturesque, they didn't really have the punch I was looking for, the 1, 2, 3 combination. Ostranenie, a Russian formalist, more or less literary and cinematic technique, deconstructing a symbol, revealing its true essence. So looking inside from the outside to reveal something new. I think you're going to like it. I'll like it even more if the sun sticks with me until I get there, but I'm not hopeful at this point. It's quite mysterious. One odd thing I've noticed today is there's nobody out. I seem to be alone. It's almost like a post-apocalyptic landscape. And yet, it's sunny. I think people are inside playing with their new gadgets. You don't want to be one of those people who at the end of the winter ends up having to say, I didn't do nothing! I didn't do nothing! Now at 1 o'clock. It'll be dark by 4:20. So as usual, on a protracted schedule, pre-visualization. Nick's in the back seat. He's getting one in this special feature. I think this may be the one I've been looking for. If you recall last week, I showed you a few test shots and wasn't really happy with what they looked like in that particular landscape. So Nick is on the back burner, figuratively speaking, until I figure out where I really want to place him. But this could be it. We'll see. Anyways, it's an interesting feature, and beggars can't be choosers this time of year. Better put this on before I get a ticket. a moving violation. Back at you when we get there. I know, this time of year, it can be very difficult to get yourself motivated to get up, get out. Get yourself some photographs. But believe me when I say, you don't want to be one of those people that at the end of the winter has to say, I didn't do nothing! I didn't do nothing! Believe me. You don't want to be one of those people. Nick, in the water feature of the bear cage at the abandoned zoo in Lancaster, now known as Cooper's Marsh. You believe it? They kept bears in this tiny, tiny prison cell for over a decade until it was closed down. It can feel very stifling when the weather is cold, the light's miserable, and everything's middle gray and brown with some white. So you can get yourself into some high contrast black and white, some custom black and white, which is my personal favorite, much richer, much more reminiscent of the early era of silver gelatin, I think. Anyways, it's very cold, there's no wind, thus I can run my camera outside for more than 2 minutes at a time. I'm going to get to work photographing Nick. What do you think of the symbolism so far? I'll leave you to ponder that for a while I orbit this structure for composition. I'll sneak out the safety hatch. $1 for donuts. Somebody got locked in there before they figured out they had to cut an extra hole. Batis 24, which is almost a 37 on APS-C. 16 or the 24 I'm shooting on now. There, the Sigma 16. It wasn't quite working here with this scene because as you can see now the forest is overgrown. The marsh is right there behind that pathway. And getting a composition that's well balanced is a little difficult in here. So I'm opting for close-up portrait for a bit. Ideally, I want the broken hip visible. Where'd it come out from? Get something in the door there too. Yeah, these are interesting. I'm shooting behind the camera right now because this is a good vantage. And getting some of the graffiti. Again with the leading lines. The door is acting like somewhat of a leading line here from this angle. Like that. Lie on the ground just like a bear would. That's a good view. I think now we'll move Santa over in front of the door, make him look like he's trying to get out. Let's drop you down a little lower and get a better view. Yeah, so I just had to take a break and return a coffee that I rented earlier. Be beautiful if the sun would break. I could get a shadow of Santa coming towards me. That's really what I want, but I'm probably not going to get it. We'll wait for a bit longer, but it is getting cold. Try a few more from that angle. I'm going low on a lot of these because the youthful perspective instead of the adult perspective, which would be, of course, looking down. Now we'll have them peeking through the gate, or the door, I mean. There he is, contemplating his freedom, his newfound freedom, his freedom from persecution. Ooh, that one might be the best one yet. You gotta really watch your histogram in these kind of conditions. There you go, Nick. Come on. There you go. I can say with absolute certainty you never thought you'd see Chris, the photographist, having a bath with St. Nick in a jail cell. Ready to go? Ready to go, Nick? Let's go. Come on. Nope, we gotta go. Let's go. Come on. Pretty windy out here and cold. Oh, sun's not really cooperating now. Huge ice jam up there in the open part of the river, which is actually what they call Lake St. Francis, I think. It's quite big here. Interesting, but so slippery. If it was any windier, I wouldn't be out here because you'd be on your ass. We're doing a pirouette. There he is. I've got quite a few frames, but I'm cold and the batteries are just about gone. Happy New Year, folks. All the best.